Good morning, teddy bear. So it's a work day on WildChild today, and you can see I've got a bunch of tools out. I'm always working on one project or another, and on the list is getting the new used free solar panels mounted. The old wires were cut off when they were dismounted, so I've opened the boxes. I had to go hunting today for 10 gauge wire, which was very difficult to find, and it was only available in blue. I've opened up the connection boxes, and then I basically turned my blue wire into a red wire using heat shrink, did the connections, and then put the liquid electrical tape on it, which if you own a boat on the ocean, you should cover every single electrical connection with liquid electrical tape. This stuff is awesome, and the ocean is really mean. The other project that I went to shore to achieve this morning is I got some pieces of aluminum, and I went to the metal shop, and with the help of the guys there, I was able to bend them to be L brackets, and I need 4 of them. On the bottom of each solar panel, I'm going to mount one like that, which is going to help me angle them out away from the tow rail. So this is going to mount on the outside of the tow rail, and then the bottom of the solar panel can be tilted sort of away, so I just get slightly better angle on the sun for them. These are solid glass panels and not semi-flexibles like I use for all the other ones. So I've manufactured these sort of aluminum loops that are going to go over to grab the top rail, and then I'm going to have to do a bracket to hold out the bottom rail. Being the cautious engineer girl that I am, I did use my multimeters, and I did a bunch of electrical testing on the flexible solar panel that I suspected of being dead, because it would be very silly to throw out a very expensive solar panel on the assumption, and I didn't want to make an ass out of myself. So I did do the electrical testing for it, and it's exactly as I suspected. I've had this before. They'll put out voltage, but because they're cracked, they can deliver no current. They're shorting out inside because of the cracks. So the solar panel that I thought was bad is bad, so we're going to remove that off the front. The 2 in the back that are still good, they're going to move forward, and this solid electrical panel is going to go to the back. I can't put it towards the middle because WildChild sails like rail in the water at the midsection, midships. So if I put a solid glass panel midships and then it goes underwater and gets washed by waves, it would probably destroy it, which is why I have flexibles up there. But on the back, we don't get waves washing into the cockpit from back here. So the safest place to put a glass panel for me will be back here. And the exciting news is it's kind of a cooler day here in Grenada. The temperature is only 35 degrees Celsius with less than 60% humidity in the boat. Body temperature is 36, and we're not over body temperature yet, so that's good. Well, I didn't film a ton of it for you, but I've got my new solar panels rewired, re-insulated, re-ocean-proofed, re-salt-proofed, and they're ready with ends to be plugged in. I've done electrical testing on both the solar panels because they are old and used. They're both performing at 20 volts, 5.01 amps of charge in this amount of sun, so they both work. Like, they're old, but they're working. So the next step, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but I have to get the big heavy glass panels now moved and mounted on the back. And you can see that I put the brackets to rest them on, which will give them a little bit of angle outwards for better access to the sun. But I couldn't make the brackets too long because I have to have my spinnaker guy line able to go past in front of it without getting sheared off by the metal. So it's like a balance between the sailability of the boat and the solar function, and I had to walk the middle line. They no longer manufacture solar panels like this style anymore because the insulating plastic layer comes off. It's just not UV proof. This one, you can see I've got cracks in it here and here from when the ocean tried to fold it over in half, and then it gave like radical cracks into the structure, which has basically disabled the panel. These cracks are all the way through the substrate. I'd gotten help from my friend Craig to mount the big solar panels because they're glass and they're heavy, and the plastic ones are easy to zip tie on, but the glass panel was a lot heavier. So I had a friend come over to help me just to secure the bottom while I was able to get the top secured. It took all day, but you can see that I finally got the glass solar panels mounted on WildChild. They're physically bigger, but they're less efficient, so they put out the same amount of energy as the semi-flexibles, but the solid solar panels are stronger and more durable, and they'll last longer. Good morning, guys. It is another glorious day in tropical paradise, as long as you don't mind the heat. There's a very famous sailboat named Brick House with Rebecca Childress on it. She's my neighbor today. Oh, hi. You know how YouTube has convinced you guys that cruising life is all glory all the time? Well, it's laundry day, and I'm doing my laundry in a bucket with a toilet plunger. It seems like glory to those of you on land, but it's really just a terrible chore that sailors have to deal with. Well, laundry's done. That's another thing we get to check off the to-do list. Good morning again, guys. So the next project on the to-do list is the bow roller. I don't have one of those chain protectors on the top. It got torn apart by the ocean years ago, and sometimes my chain slips off the bow roller, which is rather irritating. So I found some scrap metal, and for 10 EC, about $3.50 US, about $5 Canadian, I went and bent it to like a proper U shape and then to the right dimensions that I need, and I'm now going to fit it on over over my existing bow roller. Let me show you. And there we go, Lexi wins, yay!